There's a lot of games to play at the table to have a good time, but most of them take hour, 45 minutes, half hour. They take a while, but not this game. It takes 5 minutes. So we're going to learn how to play 5 minute dungeon, which actually it takes 5 minutes per dungeon, so it actually takes longer than 5 minutes in setup, but it's neither here nor there. But 5 minute dungeon. So let's get into it. Now, to start off, each player is going to pick a character. There are 5 character boards, and they are double sided, so there's a total of 10 characters to pick from. Yeah. And they each have their own special ability that they have here at the bottom. So that's the main difference between the double sided, other than just aesthetics, like if you want to be a thief or a ninja. The ability is a little bit different. So you want to look at the abilities and see which one you like better. Now, once you've picked your character, say we go with the ninja, you're going to grab the deck, which color corresponds with your character. That is now your deck. I'll go over here in the draw pile. So you'll shuffle up your deck. It goes on the draw pile. Each character's decks have the same resource cards, but they also have special cards that have specific abilities that help out. And all of them have different things that do different stuff. Defeat specific type of cards, defeat an obstacle, which we'll go over what all that means in a minute. Now that you've all picked your character, and you put your deck down, and you got to shuffle it first. You'll shuffle it, you'll put it down. You're going to draw, well, if it's easier to show. Because depending on how many players you have is how many cards you start with. So you draw that number of cards. Now you have to get the boss and the dungeon set up. So you would start with the first one, which is, so here, boss number 1, Baby Barbarian. So here is where you will put the dungeon cards, the door cards. And right there tells you how many you put. Then you will put 2 challenge cards per player with the door cards right here, which are these, the ones that look like a door. So for the Baby Barbarian, you will take 20 of them and then 2 challenge cards per player and put it in the deck and put it on top of the face down on top of the Baby Barbarian. Now, the door cards look like this. These are the resources that you need to use to defeat these cards, which we'll go over in a minute. And now these are the challenge cards. There will be mini bosses, which they have more resources you have to get in order to defeat them. And then there will be event cards, which have all kinds of different effects that make you do different things that will make you take longer to beat the dungeon. Now, here in the rulebook, they have a little picture here to show you basically how the setup of the table will be. You'll have your little character board there, and you have your deck, and then you have your discard pile, you have your hand, you have the boss there and their deck, and then their discard pile, and so on. Now on to how to actually play the game. Now, you have your boss, the Baby Barbarian. You have your 20 door cards and 2 challenge cards per player. They'll be there. Side note, there's also an app for the game, which is a timer that they made, and you can pick different narrators, and it's cool. It's an easy way to keep track of the time, and you can pause it and whatnot. Now, back to how to play. So, you have your boss, you have your door card. When you're ready to start playing, you'll hit start on the timer, start the time. You only have 5 minutes to beat the dungeon. You'll flip the first door card, dungeon card, whatever you want to call it. And then you all work together, and you're all playing at the same time. There's no such thing as turns. You're just playing. All of you together need to throw down these resources. One person can do it. 3 different people can do it. One person can put down 2, and one person can put down 1. As long as you have 1 of each one shown, then you beat that door, and then you move on to the next one until you finish the entire dungeon, and then you have to get all of these resources. They throw down 2 swords, 2 arrows, and 3 jump resources, which is in all of the players' decks. The shield, the jump, the arrow, and whatnot. Now, when you play a card, you put it in the middle of the playing area. You don't put it in your discard pile. You put it in the middle of the playing area, and whenever you play a card or discard a card, you automatically draw a card. You continuously draw a card whenever you play a card. That way you can keep replenishing your hand, and you can get more resources, and you can keep playing. You just need to go, 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 go. You need to go as fast as you can because you only got 5 minutes to beat the dungeon. Which Baby Barbarian isn't all that hard. He's only the first boss, so it shouldn't be all that difficult. And now we go back to the abilities, because when you play a card, you don't discard it. You put it in the middle, and then it gets pushed to the side, and it's just gone. Now, when you use your ability, that's when you discard 3 cards from your hand. You'll put them there. And there are some cards that allow you to return cards from your discard pile back into your normal draw pile. And the great thing about the abilities, too, is that it's not considered a card. So say you use his ability to pause time until someone plays a card. Everybody can use their abilities as many times as they can, and it won't unpause time. It won't unpause time until you play a card. Now, if one player runs out of cards, you don't automatically lose, and you're not out of the game. You can't do anything until somebody plays a specific kind of card that gets you more cards. You only all lose if everybody runs out of cards. If everybody runs out of cards, then you lose. Or if you run out of time, of course, you lose. Say you're on boss 4, the dragon, and you lose. It says to go back to boss 1 and try again. That is, oh my gosh, that is a nightmare. The Marvel one does not say that. The Marvel one just says to try the boss over again. So typically when I play this, I just go by that rule. I just try this boss over again. I'm not starting all the way back at the beginning. That is a lot. That's what I meant by it's 5 minutes, but it actually takes a lot longer because it's 5 minutes per boss, per dungeon. So basically that's it. All the players pick their character. You all work together to play resources to defeat door cards in order to get to the boss, and then play resources to defeat the boss, and then move on to the next boss. And you only have 5 minutes per boss, per dungeon, per boss. Whatever. Get to the end, beat the boss. It's a really fun game. I really like it. I would highly recommend it. And I would highly recommend the Marvel version too, 5 Minute Marvel. The rules are mostly the same. The decks are a bit different because there's a separate hero deck and then there's a resource deck, and it's a different thing. It's a bit different. Maybe we'll talk about that in another video. But anyway, 5 Minute Dungeon, great game, really fun, fast pace, go, 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 but quick. You want to learn how to play other great games like 5 Minute Dungeon? You should check out this playlist. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any new videos.